It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Welcome back to LOOT.BET CS. We've got HONORIS versus Apeks up on screens. And if you're just joining us, you missed out on map 1. Which is, of course, the map pick of Apeks. It went the way of Apeks at 16-10. Train is the map pick of HONORIS, and a chance and a half to try and turn things back around and give them an opportunity at the victory here, an opportunity at that third map of Dust 2. Dweg, let's talk about this map of here, a map up of Train. I mean, obviously, it is HONORIS' pick, but they haven't had many great results in this one, I won't lie.
They certainly haven't. They're currently 1-5 on this map. Yes, we saw a good win against Contact, but it's pretty much an insta-ban for them, so they were even lucky to get that through the pool. And well, you look at some of the losses. Saw, Illumina, Copenhagen Flames, even Pact last night. So look, going forward, this is certainly an opportunity for 2-0 from Apeks, especially after seeing what we saw from HONORIS going into Mirage. I mean, honestly, Ryko probably won them, I would say, 3 or 4 rounds off the back of just himself. They won both pistols. They only were able to get 10 rounds. So all things considered, HONORIS did not look great in that first map at all.
No, and I mean, Ryko was the main man. Was the main man that kind of stood out to us. You know, being a top fragger by a mile and a half. You know, like he was having such a great sort of map up there, and I think that he's going to be the main hope for HONORIS here on Train. With even that being said, you know, I don't even think he plays the AWP that often, so it's the AWP players that need to have the impact if they want to have an ideal sort of map up here. But you can sort of see the lack of results from both teams. I mean, even despite that, Apeks do come out on top with the overall win percentage and the pistol win percentage as well. And, you know, I wouldn't put it past the 2-0 here, I think.
No, I'm with you. I'm certainly am. After seeing that result from Mirage, I wasn't really too sure about going into this best 3 series, but after seeing map 1, yeah, no, I'm certainly with you at that 2-0 to come out for the Apeks side. But HONORIS, let's see what they can find starting up on the CT side. A lot of control to come out towards the brown halls. Only a single player here towards the B bomb site of Taz. It looks like for Apeks, they're not slowing down anytime soon.
No, quickly into the brown halls. Bit of T-con contact there from Truth, and he does end up falling in the end. The flashbangs come out. Taz spotted out there towards the upper entrances. Still gets a good headshot in against Gross, so not half bad. A 5-on-3 retake to come through as the bomb plant comes in immediate priority for Apeks.
I'll tell you what, it's actually at least a bomb plant to come down for the Apeks side. A fair bit of damage done to Taz, but it all really just comes down to whether they can find these trade kills in the favor of the T side. Dennis going to be able to line up a couple, but he only finds one. The trades are coming right back for the CTs, and it's down to Apeks. Last one left, 1 versus 4, trying to tap away with the Glock. But a very nice retake coming out from HONORIS, and it starts off with obviously the T-con presence from Truth going down immediately, and then Taz finding a very nice kill onto one of the Heaven players. Oof.
Beautiful. One
Lovely.
tap straight to his grass. And that's 3 for 3 now on pistols here in this series for HONORIS. Of course, that's still, you know, 0-1 right now in terms of the map. So, like, HONORIS, I mean, the pistols obviously don't tell the entire story. I think that much is given to anybody who watches Counter-Strike. But it is curious to know, however, how their confidence in the early sort of games are where it's at for them. And immediately the response will come out from Apeks to try and put them right back into their place, it seems. The AK's out on the force by the bomb plant, enabling these rifles. A bit of Ivy contact here. Pop flash out the SMG. We'll see several of them do a lot of damage, but no kills going the way of the CT forces. The M4 does line up too and get the bomb dropped as Troop and Gruss do fall first.
Well, the utility usage is fantastic coming out from HONORIS. It splits the offensive and makes them over-aggress to try and take the fight onto Prism. Abily just lines them up, drops that bomb, gets all the early information. They've established just so much Ivy presence at this point. Apeks, considering the force buys come through after losing the pistol round and getting the bomb down, this is disastrous. Not a single kill has gone the way. An absolute cleanup coming out from HONORIS. And I tell you what, Jay, that's going to help the confidence.
Yeah, especially with a round like this where you can see the AKs coming out, of course. I mean, Prism's seen 2 of those rifles get dropped, so now they can get recovered by here by the City side. So, you know, a lot going their way, obviously, with the heavy investment. And now this means that we can go 2-0 up, probably over an eco against the Apeks side. And, well, early odds on the doors for HONORIS going the way of that CT force. So there you go, a little something for the HONORIS fans to potentially sink their teeth into. But it is very early days. Like, this could turn around in a single moment, I feel like.
Oh, and it's the eco again. Dennis with the deagle to start things off. Now, we've seen an eco round like this before from Apeks, and I'm starting to get glimpses of it again. So what it looks like is just going to be the B play and have a late lurk out from Ivy to see if they can cut off any rotations. Now, there's only a single player here from HONORIS, so this should be at least a bomb plan to come out for the Tears.
Made up from Taz will try to do some damage. Nothing done to the T-side forces. We've only got this one man to deal with here. Stomp does rotate out towards Connector eventually and get himself in the position of the second player on the defensive, but Apeks to make their way out of upper or ramp. Get that bomb plant. That would be a successful eco right there, but as you mentioned, the first pick has come in against Neo, and there is a chance that Apeks could do all the damage. It's Dennis facing out towards Ivy, taking a good couple of pop shots, forcing rotations out. The CT trying to engage against him. Taz going to see them making their way out. Stomp will get Dennis. M4 burst in from Taz. Does get crushed next up. The 4 versus 3, I should say, making it 2. Marcellus swinging with a bomb plant out here, and he'll just about secure it. So Taz with his 3k and only 1 casualty sustained by the CT forces. But again, for Apeks, that's not a bad eco around. A bomb plant being secured here.
That's very successful, and really all that comes down to is Dennis finds that opening kill, so he does a little bit of damage and then establishes the control out from Ivy. A little bit unfortunate that he doesn't take Prism down towards that E-box line, but he at least pulls Stomp away from that connector position at the B bomb site into CT spawn and pretty much just leaves Taz alone at that B bomb site. It was a good hold, but the bomb plant does come through, so a little bit more money for Apeks to work with. And going into round number 4, the rifle round of the second map. And that AWP up for Marcellus. And for Stomp, I mean, he's got a lot to prove because he was very quiet in that first map. And a map like Train, the AWP needs to be strong on the CT side.
He's out to break into the 4th round here for HONORIS, the rifle v rifle round. Dennis here towards Pop Dog will be one of the AKs in play for the T side. They've got Marcellus on his own AWP, and currently he's placed out towards the Brown Halls. A lot of Brown Halls aggression coming in from Taz actually, so he can be able to get several frags out of this. Finds Marcellus for 1, but also goes full into trade with Dennis and Truth following suit on Prism and everything. So 2 for 1, all in all favourable to that T side, and Ryko can't seem to find a trade.
And this is where we see Apeks really come into their own, is once we see them on the gun rounds. We did have a bit of an early stance coming out from HONORIS with a 3-0 lead, but now it's a 4-3 advantage. And, well, they're gamble stacking the A bomb site by the looks of things. It looked like Neo wanted to rotate out of B, but he's going to stay very deep. And considering how passive he is at this bomb site, it really means that he's got no chance of trying to stop that bomb from going down. Overall, it's really passive from HONORIS. Finally, Ryko's going to push through Tikon. This is going to be a lot of information.
Won't force a rotation now because of it, though. Ivy could still be the play, and Stomp will rotate back out towards the B site as they can connect some of the dots and figure out that maybe this might actually be a B play. Very passive from the CTs, though. They are ready to rotate back towards the A site, especially as Ryko's made his way back out of Tikon. The utility, however, comes pouring out of the Brown Halls. They know what's up. Smoke down towards Ivy. A good nade on sight as Stomp gets that kill on Apeks. Neo continues to press forward. Dennis can respond with his own or kill, and Truth there, top of white, deals with Neo, the aggressing player. The bomb plant can be secured. A 1-on-3 for Ryko. Famas could take down one of the low HP players, but Truth is having none of that. 3k to his name and a first on the board with Apeks' rifle.
That's a really nice rifle round, and one thing that I certainly noticed from Apeks, and a lot of these defaults, not only on a map like Train, but on Mirage, what we saw earlier, is once they find an advantage, once they get a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-3, they slow it right down, and they kind of play the mind games a little bit of HONORIS, because they're not really sure what's going on. Ryko's pushed very aggressively and through T-cons, they've got a little bit of information, and then Stomp, he rotates the B bomb site, but he's staying around CT Spawn, watching through Ivy, and it just kind of makes HONORIS think a little bit more. Now this time around, at least they've got a little bit of early contact as there is an aggressive player out through Olaf.
Nades on, smokes down, M4s, of course, are standard bursting out. Grass has taken a lot of early damage here for Apeks in the first casualty sustained by Dennis. Ryko opening up the round here, still playing contact on the A bomb site, gets a secondary kill. Prism finds a trade, but him and Stomp will fall back. Truth still left to fall. 3 kills for Ryko. The Orb Marcellus, all that remains. A 1v3 clutch. He finds that first kill. The bomb is on his back still. The CT is going to reposition and try and adjust against him. He can rotate to that B bomb site. He's got time. But he's trying to look for kills here. He's going to press back forward towards the A bomb site. Might find one towards Ivy, but HONORIS are playing against his position right now.
Marcellus, he's in a really awkward position now because, well, Neo's going to start a bit of a backstab out through Ivy to try and wrap around Tikon. And all Taz really needs to do is just play passive. He needs to not fight at all. Allow the rotate to come in on the flank. And that's why we're seeing such a passive position coming out from Taz.
Backstabbing from Neo. Looking up with the AWP, slowly but surely. The AWP at Taz spots Marcelius at a tiny little gap and takes him down, so... Well spotted from both players, obviously, to take that challenge, but again, the main defensive has to come down to Ryko here. 3 kills held back towards the Ivy entrance. Even against all the pressure of the T side, it was well placed from him and his defensive forces.
And what a response, and I tell you what, it's Ryko again, man. This kid, he's really been impressing me. He's really stepping up for HONORIS, and well, he seals them pretty much their 4th round all by himself. This is a great start on the CT side. Apeks so far, only a single round of the aggression from Taz. He's going to hear all the footsteps at B.
M4 up towards upper. No one's checked it. They have now. The kill comes in regardless. Truth can take the AK response back, so they can secure the bomb plant for this. A half by round, of course, for the T side. An aggression out. Oh, Neo! What? He has no idea! Marcelius with the Tech 9. He hears 2 players. He's going to get all the info he needs. Strike on 1. Be the major thorn on their side. Stomp will come up, and they do deal with him. But Truth is left alone here. Now back towards the Brown Halls. A 1-on-3 for the M4 of the T side. Smokes go down. He looks up. Takes the face against the AWP, which he will lose. So, exciting times there for the moment, but the again, the main objective for Apeks there on that half by round was achieved. The bomb plant being secured, the money line is built beyond belief. The buy will be coming in for round 7.
And Apeks do a really good job in a lot of these ecos of at least allowing that bomb plant to come through. That was that could have been really cheeky from Marcelios. And HONORIS probably kicking themselves that they didn't quite check that angle. Unfortunately, he only finds a single kill, so doesn't get away with too much. But the buy is going to come through, and for HONORIS, if they're able to convert this rifle round, they are certainly back in the game in terms of this series. AWP from Marcelios does find the opening, but does take a lot of damage from that incendiary.
He has been struggling over the course of this map up here. He was very confident with his AWP picks. Down to the low HP. Still gets a secondary kill, though. Dennis can find a response towards Ryko as Ryko gets Gross, Taz, and Neo. Last 2 players left. The veteran duo now, just the veteran solo. The AWP here towards the red train cross. Could deny the bomb plant here from Apeks. Indeed, he's not expecting that. It's a good AWP pick, but now spotted out with the shoulder. Marcelius swings on towards him, gets a 3K. And despite having single digits of HP, still having massive impact with a big green gun on the T-side line.
How much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just 1 hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Now we'll need a second rifle to go to way of Apeks and force HONORIS down onto the eco here.
I think he heard you there, Jane. As soon as
I know.
He was like, "This is my time now." And no, look, there's some really nice shots coming out from Marcelios, but for Apeks, they need to be making sure that not too many players go down, especially with the fact that it's pretty much just a complete save. Nice couple of shots coming out from Marcelios. Tech 9 may get overwhelmed considering the aggression to come out from the CTs, but only a single player goes down, so another 3K to come out for the AWP of the Apeks side. And with the money line, it's... Can they afford... Okay, they can't quite afford the double AWPs. I think we saw it 1 round where Neo and Taz were holding onto it at one point, but this time around it's only going to be that single AWP presence of coming out from Stomp.
Yeah, I don't think it was employed during the actual defensive itself. It was employed during the retake, or like the 1 versus 2 before the plant went down and try and deny that bomb plant. So yeah, it's the only time I think we ever saw it. I think after that we obviously saw Apeks be able to take it out of their hands with the half buy. No double AWPs, of course, here in this round. They're going to take the early leg shot in on Neo. Truth does burn to 39 HP though, so once again Apeks are going to gain a bit of an advantage, then lose it right back immediately there, the AWP. Need 10 points of HP, 20 points of HP, I should say, above the likes of Neo. And Apeks, very slow and careful about their default style. They're going to set themselves up towards upper. The bombers with them in the Brown Halls area, and with the 5th player about to join them, it looks like it'll be another B take, and it's going to come in very quickly here. Flashbang out, Neo's got all the room to breathe with. Kills Marcelius before he even hits the floor. Taz gets a double of his own right in the back line. Apeks will respond, but Truth goes falling in trade, and that was a disaster push from Apeks. This will lead to a 1 versus 4, and Apeks should be left for dead here.
trying his best to at least try and bring it back. But again, you know, I get so confused with some of these rounds from Apeks. Like, sometimes they just look so great. They find so many advantages. And that's like a dry run into the B bomb site. There was hardly any utility being used. Now, for the HONORIS side, at the 1 minute 20 mark, all they had was a single smoke and a flash. No one was blind. Both Neo and Taz at the B bomb site were not even blind for a single second. There was so much utility to use for Apeks. And, well, they just tried to dry run it out, use almost nothing. And will they pay the price for it? A very strange round coming out from Apeks and a very easy cleanup, just taking the long-range fights.
Yeah, and just Apeks kind of throwing another round away, I feel like. Again, I could have been so much more confident from them, but alas, here we are. Wallbangs hunted for. Nades up, burst through. M4 spray from Prism gets Truth. Of course, the opening frag going the way of the CT forces there on the M4. Ryko going to push forward. See all sorts of T-side presence here towards Pop Dog. Prism can find a trade back on towards Akez, out towards the T-con area. Neo's watching out the AWP. Will keep his eyes locked on towards Pop Dog. And again, Apeks are going to get cleaned up by HONORIS, it seems.
And they re-smoke Pops. Dennis really can't do anything. Marcelius does find an entry over at B. Good damage being found onto Prism. That's going to allow a bomb plan to come out of this B bomb site. And the retake to come in from HONORIS, but they do hold on to the man advantage.
Orp scoped up, keeping his eyes on. Good pick on Stomp. They do find that to a 2 versus 2. A refacing against the second Orp of the CT side. Could allow a chance still, but being very passive and careful about this. Also have to watch that back line, because that is where the CTs can strike there with their backstab. Orp pick in from Neo. 2-on-1 now. Marcelius going to keep his eyes from that back line. The AWP timing's everything. No. Looking away at the wrong moment. Prism can swing out, get the kill, get the defuse, and get the 7th on the board for HONORIS.
Oh, okay, that was actually a really good retake, and well, it just comes down to a little bit of timing there. We saw Marcelios was trying to look towards ramp, but in the end, the timing does not work out. But it starts off from HONORIS being able to find some really nice picks, and Dennis just being caught in the middle of Speedway, completely in the open from Neo's AWP. And Apeks not really finding as much success in the gun rounds as they did in the first map. So far, only quite a limited amount of rounds on the T side of just 3. And well, we spoke about the double AWPs. Now they're going to be invested coming out from Stomp and Neo.
They are the Molotovs out, the AWPs in. They were out for the last couple of rounds as well. Losing them on a couple of occasions, though, so lost investment overall from the CT forces. The M4 is the first casualty of this round, though, as the aggressive force towards the upper positions. Or peek in, sees one man out towards Ivy. But Apeks unable to get that kill on the player. So 5-on-4 situation, the CTs currently pushed back, held pretty passive across their line at the moment.
Marcelius is at least going to get a little bit of information out through Ivy. And that's going to allow Akez to walk forward and just kind of walk his way through. I do find the opening pick. This looks to just be a split into the A bomb site. So much map territory coming through for the Apeks line. But there is an AWP that's trying to keep their eyes up towards Ivy. Akez is going to be able to escape the bullet. But Gruss is able to trade it back. But it's a 3-on-3. Now make it a 3 versus 2.
Apeks keeping control for the moment. Entries out towards the A site. The AWP of Stomp, however, locking out a blind shot against Gross. And we stand at evens once again. Neo's got his back turned towards this T-side force. He's expecting players to come in from Ivy, but Truth is up here towards the top of blue. And they think it may well be a B-side play. Stomp and Neo rotating out position as Truth moves in slowly. 20 seconds as the AWP of the T-side looks in towards Pop Dog. Smoke now on site to block off the cross. He will look to try and get a bomb plan out of default here.
On 2 versus 2. Now, Truth, he's at least got a lot of information that there's no one here at this A bomb site. And it just comes down to Marcelios. He's really the man because he's got the AWP. Good shot coming through. He's really started stepping up on this T-side at AWP. And Stomp, they know exactly where he is. Miss shot coming out. And, well, for Apeks, they don't need a peek. They could just play passive. Yeah,
time's running out for him. 20 seconds. He's got a kit, so he has that extra 5-second buffer. But he still needs to act pretty quickly off the back of this. The AWP is more valuable to him at this stage. With the HONORIS money line being so broken, it makes sense to concede that 4th to Apeks. And keep a hold of this rifle. Before on the T side as HONORIS are unable to secure their half just yet. It's going to be a single round away from it though. And I don't think that it will be this next round where they can secure it either. The money line is again a little bit too broken for the moment here. Yeah, force buy looks to come through down the AWP. And that probably is the best case scenario.
And this is probably the best opportunity that Apeks have had yet, Jay, of being able to get back into this game. There's an opportunity where they're up against a force buy. They win that out, it's going to be an eco. So this really could be a 6 rounds going to their way on the T side. Apeks are in a great position, but they need to be able to convert it. They need to be able to take the advantage that has been given to them. Now, we've seen the last few rounds, they've been able to strike on the opening pick, and really it's been Stomp and Neo doing a lot of damage with these double orbs. This time around, there's only that single orb that was saved in.
You scout out the AWP for HONORIS, and the FAMAS out for Ryko is going to be the best weapons that they have to work with. Taz set his deagle out to the B-bomb site. It is stopped with that first kill on Truth, so that's a good start. Will Taz be able to find the response frag on the CT side? The follow-up here against Grossi. The shoulder, good headshot on the one face. Not quite the good headshot for the second, but they don't know where that bomb is. The smokes go down. The nade on from Stomp could take out Akida if it's placed correctly. It lands pretty good on Dennis, but no kill for him. Neo's ready for the AWP now as it pushes in. The bomb plot will be secured by Apeks, but it looks like this force buy is going to go well for the CT side as Dennis, the last things up standing, gets killed off by Neo with a 2K and an 8th round for HONORIS.
Oh my, why are we seeing so many rounds of ecos and half buys and force buys being successful? It really is not the way that Counter-Strike should be played. And the way that the round should be played. Apeks, well that's pretty embarrassing to lose a round like that. My, oh my. How does Taz do so much damage without sort of getting traded? He finds an opening kill, a body tag as well with that deagle. The rotates come in so quickly. Neo is in such an aggressive position out through Pop Dog that just does not get checked from Dennis. 8-4. This is such a great lead coming out on the city side of Train. And well, for Apeks, rather than forcing the issue, it is going to be a half buy to buy up into round number 14.
Deagle in for Marcelis. Oh. Look at how aggressive he's going to get that first pick. Couldn't quite find the second, and Ryko would stop her. Taps up towards the second player over at Pop Dog. Make a triple kill happen onto the Quadra. Not quite seeing the player over at Ivy, but he saw his shoulder bait now. He knows. And he will reface towards it. Stomp gets Russ. 4K for Ryko. Padding his stats. 101 ADR at the moment. And things are looking good right here for HONORIS, despite the aggression nearly taking them for a ride.
That was a great recovery after that first kill goes the way of Apeks. And Ryko, he's having a grand old time at the moment. Finding so much success. Just look at the difference. 2 KD to come out from Ryko. 101 ADR. Just some really great stuff from him. How many... Well, I'm still trying to think that even with like 4 rounds on T, it's certainly a doable comeback on the CC side of Train if you get off to a good start, but it's not a lot of breathing room. It's certainly not a lot of rounds to work with.
And this T side. And again, you can look towards the CT half of Train and just be like, look, you can always rely on that. But again, as you mentioned, the deficit is going to be so massive between 11-4 half. So ideally, Apeks to get 6 on this T side could work with that much. They absolutely need to start from here, though, so... Double AWP still in for Stomp and Neo. The AK's out, across the board for the T side. Apeks are a little bit limited in that respect. No AWPs in, and of course the money's going to limit them even more if they lose into this round. In round 15, we could be seeing a force buy with pistols out. And look at the aggression from the CTs. Look at how close Taz wants to get to this. Dennis round the corner. Stomp gets that AWP shot through the smoke, and Dennis just barely falls to Taz. A 5-on-3 situation, favourable to HONORIS.
Oh, what a great start. The aggression out from Brown Halls. No trades coming through. And Jay, we spoke about a potential 6th round. Even the lineup comes out from Neo doing so much damage onto Akez. And well, not a single kill has been found for the Apeks side. Really struggling in round number 14 on the gun round. What a shutdown. Everyone gets a kill. How nice is that? You know, everyone's sharing.
Well, it's great for HONORIS, it's not so great for Apeks. They went for a very aggressive style of play, and they just got smacked back into round 15. decimation coming in from HONORIS, and they look so much better compared to that first map, Dwayne. So much better on the CT side. What's up?
Dennis got over. I don't know why that's been upgraded.
Why?
Especially on the T side, but well, maybe he's got an idea to work with. Oh, great shot coming out from
Well,
Neo.
there goes that IT. Quick kill from Neo. And the nades up towards Ivy. He knows there's a lot of T-side presence. Crystal there with the AK. Good headshot on 1 and 2. And AWP kill with the 3rd. Truth last man remaining. 1 versus 5. 100 HP on every single player. Apeks didn't even get a scratch in on that last round. So 11-4 will be the half turn for HONORIS. 5 away, excuse me, from the 3rd map of the series. Oh, it's been disaster, I think, for that T-side, though.
Yeah, it has. I mean, you just look at those numbers. Very little numbers for pretty much everyone except Marcelius. And, well, really, that just comes down to the AWP being, I suppose, at least somewhat consistent. Maybe not having the biggest amount of kills, but at least allowing 4 rounds to come through from Apeks. But you're right, Jay. I mean, that was a pretty disappointing first half. Really didn't find too much with it. And look, it comes off the back of this pistol. It's certainly doable. Train and Nuke are 2 of maps in the map pool that you can allow an 11-4 comeback to come through if you get the momentum going. And it starts off with a pistol round. The kit upgrade coming out from Gruss, a smoke as well. No extra utility for the rest of the players. But Apeks, they've got to strike right now.
Well, Glock's out for HONORIS. Quick away from Taz into this outer bomb site push. Taps up. Prism will get that opening kill over on the B site play. However, it's just a distraction coming in from their main man of A. The plant will be secured by HONORIS. Apeks for the retake. They have the kit on Gross. And Ryko far forward here towards connected train. Truth's going to make his way out towards the CT entrance over on the long face. Taps up from Glock's top of the bomb train, sees them coming out initially, will fall back off position. Ryko is still here with the Glock, gonna fall down as Gross gets the kill back to 4 versus 4, but that's wasted 20 seconds of the 40 seconds of the bomb plant. Ryko and Stomp, 2 kills, Taz on the backstab, 3 on 2, making it 1, and Truth, last man standing to leave it at none. 12 to HONORIS, nice and easy for the T side.
Very good pistol round indeed. And all it really comes down to is Taz just trying to sell a bit of a fake out from T-Con. Not even just showing too much sort of positional advantage, but just showing himself, you know, running around T-Con, trying to sell a bit of a distraction. And when they just go fast into that B bomb site, use that utility out from Con to allow the CTs to work behind it. And then quite late in the round, we see Taz going out through Pop Dog and try and wrap around to the B bomb site. A very strong round indeed coming out from HONORIS. The Force Spy, of course, does come out for the CTs, but this is fast. Look at the aggression coming out from the Ts.
Neo, Mach 10 close, scout shot on Gross will do some damage. Tap up with the AK, takes out the first. And a second kill coming in for Neo as well. So the Force Spy, oh, the USB. The USB goes hunting Marcelius and trying to run out the door here, just get out as far away from the action as he can, because this is going to be a safe call, I think, from the CTs. The Mach 10's in, Neo take the 2 HP, could fall to the Deagle, indeed he does. But so much more work for Apeks to do, and Galil here from Prism will close out that final frag, so recover all the utility that was dropped, any weapons they want to recover and save into the next round. 13 for the T side. Eco for Apeks. I have a feeling this map is within its closing few rounds here at the leg.
Yeah, I'm with you there. This can be over pretty quickly, considering the fact that Apeks have not been able to win either the pistol or the Force Spy. 13-4. It's pretty much just going to be up against an Eco. A couple of upgrades of a Zeus for Dennis, some HEs to at least try a bit of a nade stack. And, well, you look at the odds from LOOT.BET. 10.1 to 1 to come out for the Apeks side. And well, that really tells it all at this point. They do at least find 1 kill in the early round, so any more than they can find is... Oh, what a great shot coming out from Stomp. Very nice stuff. Oh, my God, we're seeing some okay. We're seeing some decent shots.
A bomb has been dropped by Dennis at least. The backstab coming in from Gross could do, I was going to say something, but Dennis going down leaves it basically an exit frag, maybe a knife kill on Stomp if he's lucky. Dig down, throws the same off. 1 HP from Stomp though. Within touching distance of securing that frag, but alas. 14-4. Buy up for Apeks, and this will be their last chance.
This will certainly be their last chance. What can they get out? They do get the AWP at least from Marcelius. But HONORIS, they have just... This has been a great turnaround from what we saw in map number 1. It honestly doesn't even seem like it's all Ryko. Just everyone has been stepping up. Oh, there it is! I was waiting of when he was going to pull the trigger, and, well, he pulls it at the right moment.
Perfectly placed. Good shot. Good kill. And finally, something going well for HONORIS. It seems that all this map has compounded well for the T-side Apeks. Just don't even know how to deal with this at this point, you know, like how do you find a frag back after that? They're giving up no information, they found the kill on you. And they're just playing out towards the Pop Dog and Brown Horse area, like just, where do you go?
Yeah, you just need to rely on some individuals at this point. Let's see if a couple of players can have just some big holds. They're gonna, looks like, rotate a third player over to the B bomb side. This is gonna be a gamble stack, and Truce at least gonna try and bring it back.
Flashes out, M4 for Apeks, ready and waiting, 3-man firing squad, gets decimated for a 3k. Apeks, finally, here we go for Apeks. Taz in a 1-on-3, he's got one player in the backlands to deal with, does isolate that pick on towards Gross, but the bomb's been dropped in the open, he's got to isolate the player in the backlines and the player also up front with the B side defensive. 40 seconds left for the veteran, and he has turned this to a winnable scenario, but even then his chances are slim. He may consider the AK save. 25 seconds, hunting for utility, hoping to find some sort of way back into this round. Here he goes, downstairs, dropping in, towards the spray, on towards Apeks. If Taz clutches this, he sees the AWP as well, dodges the bullet, and goes for the plant. 1-on-1, nade up against Taz. I don't think this will be enough to finish off the job. It'll tag him really low. The AWP scopes in, misses still. Taz somehow getting away alive. And knowing where Trubis the Molotov is out, the USP does find that frag in the end. But 13 HP for the lone CT player. He is possibly a bullet away from losing out this round. But the 5th is earned by Apeks, thanks most to the efforts of Apeks, but Truth there with those final few shots to close it out.
And I can just imagine Apeks during game leader being like, Truth, mate, you're never touching the AWP again. I mean, we saw some crucial missed shots there. And, well, look, it was a nice clutch to come out in the end, but that was really down to the wire. It really shouldn't have even been Taz allowing a bomb plant down. And HONORIS, they at least work out somewhat successful in that last round. They will be able to re-buy the rifles through. That was very close. 13 HP. That could have been huge from Taz.
Imagine if he lost that. Like,
the
morale and the comms from Apeks would just be in absolute disarray. And just being dire straits overall. Smoke's down. AWP is in a standard. The AKs and the M4s. 2 for Masters up for Gross and Ninnis. They go out towards the other presence as Ryko opens things up for HONORIS once again. T's going to make their way out in towards the A-bomb site, splitting in from Pop and Tico, and Gross up here towards Heaven with his FAMAS, hoping to catch off some sort of vision. We'll see players at the edge of the smokes, but going to get tacked up here by Prism next up. Plant will be secured. AUG looking in for Taz. Dinks in at 2 HP. Gross gets that kill credited to him. Prism gets a kill back of his own up with the AK-47 and back behind E-Box. He'll keep his eyes on the stopper area. Also has vision on towards bomb itself. Incendiary should force him out as Apeks goes forward into the AWP. Marcelius next up. Truth last man standing, and he's not going to be long for this one. HONORIS, much more confident execution. 15-5 now. We're looking at map point for the Polish squad.
Oh, what a response coming out from HONORIS. I mean, to bring that round so close in round number 19 and then to win it out. But I tell you what, Jay, that last round, that was just, I mean, it was quick out to the outer bomb site. The trades came in so quickly. The entries were on point. And for Apeks, well, that gun round was their chance. That was their chance to come back into it. But now, on the force buy, I could just see this being over so quickly now for the HONORIS side.
Incendiaries and flashes. Taz. Here we go. Marcelius with the UMP. Getting aggressive here for the Apeks side, hoping to get some sort of aggressive challenge for his favor. If you can cut off the IV control, then HONORIS would be in a very deep, would be in deep duty. So far, it's been decently suppressed by Apeks. No major kills, no significant amount of damage, but HONORIS have been denied their map control at least.
Yeah, this is really passive coming out from HONORIS. We've seen quite a lot of quick takes, at least to get map control so far on the T side of train. But it looks like it's going to be back to the outer take. How do they deal with the Ivy player? Because Meselios is starting to push. They might not expect how quickly this backstab is going to come through.
Comes down to timing, whether or not they give it the information towards him. The AK of Taz moves in towards sight, takes out Gross. Marcelis the chance to strike his truth. Gets a good scout shot. UMP comes up. Good kills going the way to CTs. AWP turns on to the secondary kill. Ryko, last man left, does isolate the 1 versus 1 now. And now 40 seconds to the clock here. The 2K for Ryko on for the triple. SMG of Apeks is rotating around towards the B-bomb site. He's read this perfectly. Can he come in? Can he deny Ryko here towards the connector area? He'll make his way down towards the site. Might secure a plant towards Summit spot. Out in the open. SMG takes the spray, takes the kill. And Apeks, playing the mind games to perfection, will grab an AK, grab a 6 for Apeks, and keep them alive in train.
No, it seems like they're not done just quite yet. That was actually a really smart read coming out from Apeks. Just playing the gamble, rotating over to the B bomb site, just hoping that he would be able to catch the right bomb site at the right time. HONORIS. Okay, that's interesting. So it's a half buy, but considering how much money at least one person has been able to upgrade Stomp to an AWP. Well, they don't find it. And they drop the bomb too, so that's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, eco round, so take that as you will. Do find one good pick back from Neo, but traded immediately by Dennis in the AWP of Marcelius responsible towards Ryko, so it's all left to this Deagle, and it doesn't do much from there. Dennis ends up with 2 kills, Marcelius with 3. And now, probably not a buy actually to come through from HONORIS. So I was going to say that there should be enough in the bank to invest into, but some players down at the 3,000 marks, and they might go for another eco with a little bit of utility here. See what damage they can do with their pistols and a couple of upgrades. Maybe a bomb plant. Some of the main options, I think, for the HONORIS camp.
This looks to be a set piece coming out from HONORIS. There is a ton of utility to work with. And let's see if they just go for the upper take. They might even try and fake the outside smokes for the A bomb site and try and get a bomb plant at B. And I like that rather than upgrading to Deagles and spending that extra bit of money, they've kind of just upgraded to a lot of P250s and allowed more utility to come through.
And for Dennis pushing up aggressive towards that T-corn area. Not going to see much at all from the T side as the flashes go over. HONORIS with the execution. He's out behind E-Box, drops that bomb very quickly onto his double, and it's triple nice and easy for the man. 1 pick back of the pistol is Stomp. Him and Prism are not long for this world. AWP picks coming in from Marcelius. There you go, 2K to his name.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just 1 hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Now up to 8. 7
just
between them and HONORIS.
I mean, Dennis was probably screaming that it had to be A. I mean, he was blinded like 6 or 7 times from flashbangs, so at least the information was there from Apeks to clean up that eco rounds. And, well, for HONORIS, it really wasn't too successful. But this is the chance, right? I mean, now we're going into the gun round. It's 15 to 8. They've still got plenty of rounds to work with. HONORIS could probably just say, right, let's just try and end it right here, right now.
They tried the set piece last time. Didn't work out with the pistols. The rifles are here in full force, though, so maybe this could be the round to turn the fortunes back to the favour of the HONORIS side. They have got a lot of pop dog aggression here from Apeks. 2 players out towards upper for the B side defensive, or well, actually 1 player now. Zaka's 4 away, get towards the main bomb site defensive. AK, very tight angle to hit, gets that kill. Prism falls next towards upper. The CT's holding decent control. Truthful smoke out the incendiary as the player on site is overwhelmed. Taz bursting out with the AK. The bomb plant can't get secured. Dennis drops Neo. It will not get secured at this stage. And it looks like the round's going to fall apart for the T-Stone once again. Apeks forcing Stomp potentially to save here. Don't know how he's going to fight his way out of the ramp area, but looking like 9 on the CT board. Good scope in. Shot missed out though. The bomb is seen. The CTs have it creeping up on both sides. It just looks like there's no way that Stomp can fight back against the overwhelming CT forces here.
And no bomb plant does make it a little bit more difficult on this half buy coming through. And Apeks are slowly bringing this back. They're playing with a lot of confidence at the moment. A great shutdown, at least in the early rounds, to find a couple of opening picks. And HONORIS. I mean, even Neo, he tried to get that bomb plant very aggressively around that summit position, and, well, he wasn't even allowed for that to come through. So again, it is going to be the eco round. Let's see if they're able to at least find a bomb plant and to do some damage, because the double orbs are now out for the Apeks side, being in from the last round, so that could certainly help them try and allow this comeback to come through.
Good kill from Truth. Nades up, put him down, and now Taz down as well. Good kills coming in from Truth. 3 kills in total. Russ ready for the contact, and Dennis is there with a crossfire set, so nice and easy against the half-by round. And the AWP in particular is the thing that struck the most here over towards the Ivy area. It's a 10 on the board for Apeks. A rebuy should come through from HONORIS. Let's see whether they can end it right here. But every single one of these rifle rounds is a question, you know, will they be able to close it out? Is this going to be the round that they do so? Well, a tactical pause will come through for them to try and see whether that will be the case.
And well, so far, both teams, at least at this point, have been able to put 10 rounds up on their opponent's map pick. We saw 10 rounds up for HONORIS on Mirage, now 10 up for Apeks on Train. And well, really, the difficult thing here for Apeks is they don't have any breathing room. As soon as they make a mistake, as soon as they lose an opening man advantage, as soon as they lose something, it can be over in a split second, because there's obviously that map point coming through for the HONORIS side. I'm really keen to see what these double orbs are going to be able to achieve. I mean, we saw a couple of nice shots coming out from Truth towards Ivy in the last round against the Eco, but it comes down to what they find against the rifle round, because that's obviously going to be the most difficult round conversion. Stack of utility to come out for the HONORIS camp. The AWP back out for Stomp. And if I'm looking at anyone on this HONORIS side, I'm looking at Ryko. Get him out on the entry. Get a man advantage, because he's your man to step up when you need him.
Well, double orb setup now out for Truth and Marcelius here. Apeks back in with the rifles here to try bring us to OT. We've got 5 rounds on the trot if they want to do so. And the orb's in for Stomp over on the HONORIS cam. No head Kevlar for him, so could fall very quickly to an M4. Smokes are up, the nades are down. Neo going to take a lot of early damage. And Dennis with the AK standing by against them. Will burst through, spray through that smoke, hoping to catch on the likes of Taz at this stage. The AK looking in, a pop flash over and out. And Dennis basically kisses his opponent, but also gets taken back by Ryko. So 4-on-4 situation. Seat is heavily tagged up. Good kill back from Marcelius up towards the heaven position. Prism going to try and challenge him. Spray through the smoke, gets him down. So back to evens will go here. Apeks still have Gross on site, ready to play Gorilla. Got one player back over the A2 position. 60 seconds left. HONORIS still have map control. They've yet to push into the site, though.
HONORIS, they slow it right down, and Apeks go, could it be a B play? What's going on here? They have no information at this point. Now, there is a single smoke that comes up from the top of Pop Dog, so that may give them a little bit of information. And Gruss, oh, does he get seen on the edge of the smoke? He does now. Prism knows exactly where he is.
We'll look for the bomb plant, secure it for a 3-on-3. The retake coming up. Gruss can get the kill, but can't deny the plant. Meanwhile, Truth falls back towards Ivy. So 2-on-2 situation. And Neo will try and find his way out towards the Old Hell area. Flashes in. They've got Gross alone here towards Stop. Isolated from his teammate. Akers making a little noise. Will go down. It's all left to the M4. 42 HP. 2 T-side players to find. What a tap. Knows where Neo is as well. Going to try right back towards it. He's running out of time though for this defuse. He's got no kit either. 10 seconds to the defuse. I think he's run out of time at this stage. He will get Neo, but he's out of dodge. This game is over. It will be 16-10. We're going to Dust 2.
Oh, we certainly are. Unfortunately there for Gruss, no kit would have been able to get that defuse through. But, well, HONORIS, a great turnaround on map number 2. But don't go anywhere. The third map of this series, Dust 2, coming up after a short break.